Summiting Kilimanjaro was one of the peak experiences of my lifetime. And doing this hike, this 7-day journey with my sons, made it even sweeter. I love hiking, and I've often used hiking as a metaphor and recommended hiking as a metaphor. So many times when the people I'm working with or I myself get stuck mentally, where I just can't think my way out or through a problem, a technique I use often is get up and start moving physically, change my scenery, change my perspective, get some physical activity in. And I don't know, nature just puts things in perspective for me and really gets me using nature and other resources as kind of answers for my current dilemma. It just becomes such an amazing metaphor by getting out and changing your perspective. And it was, of course, no different on the trail, the path that led us to the summit of Freedom Peak on Independence Day, the beautiful Mount Kilimanjaro, just the rooftop of Africa. It was amazing to me as I was out hiking and really just left with silence and a lot of experience of my own thinking. And I started to really tune into when stress came and left in my life on the mountain, because there really was nothing to stress about. It was just so beautiful. But whenever I would start thinking ahead, I would find myself getting anxious and irritated and stressful. I saw profoundly that when I moved out of the present and I moved into the future, that was where the stress came from. But if I stayed just in the present, there really wasn't any stress. It was practice every single day for 6 miles a day, sometimes 10 hours a day, with editing my story live, editing my thinking live, boiling things down to the simplest truth. Because at the simplest truth, there's just nothing in your current reality that's stressful. And I had some mind-blowing things happen, but one of the things that I would get anxious over is, in the beginning, I would be like, how far do we have to go today? And what's the train like? And how long is it gonna take? And the guy did not give honest answers. We used to tease Wilfred all the time. He's like, oh, it'll be 4 hours. And we started joking, that's in Wilfred time, like 8 hours. And I started to notice how hooked I was on how much longer, can I make it? Like, I would get stressed when I started thinking ahead. And my son, George, was amazing in his wisdom. One day he said, look, Mom, it's all just walking. That's all we're doing all day long. It's just walking. And it was such relief to me when he boiled it down to the simple truth. And that's what I mean by editing your stories. He boiled it down to the simple truth that right here now, it's just walking. And you know what? That's one thing I can do. I can walk. And if that's all that's required of me, what's my stress about? So I can do my part. And what I realized is that everything else was taken care of for us by the guides, the porters, the weather, which was beautiful, the universe. And how often do we have all the support that we need in the moment? Like right now, I have the food I need, I have the chair I need, I have the support from the ground I need, I have my team. And that the only time I get stressed is when I think of the future. And it just really was a profound experience to me that I just really needed to surrender and really get clear on this mantra that I just need to walk, and I have this profound choice whether it's joy or misery. And so I started to just notice my happiness when I was in the present moment and how quickly that contentment or happiness would escape the minute I left the present moment. So when I started to focus on how far we have left, I saw just how quickly my current happiness dissipated and how much was just in my power with where I placed my attention and just moving into what do I have to do in this moment. And I also saw how often I postpone my own happiness. I'm like, oh my gosh, when we stop for lunch, I will be awesome, when I could just be awesome now. And how often we do that, like when I get a raise or when I buy a house or when I get that next promotion, then I'll be happy. And I got pretty zealous about not wanting to miss the hike I was on. And I was doing a lot of thinking in the future and postponing my happiness, but I really wanted to be on the hike. I wanted to experience this once in a lifetime experience. So I started walking with the mantra, be here now. That's kind of Ram Dass's ultimate, be here now. All that I need, I already have. I am fine. I have all I need. I'm well supported. Everything is perfect. And I noticed how energized I was. And then I started, maybe it was 7th day where it was, lack of oxygen at 19,500 feet. But I started really getting in touch with the fact that I could energize myself, not with more calories or more hydration, although that's important. I could energize myself with wholeheartedness. When I started to feel fatigue, it was when I was clear out into the future. When I got wholehearted about the present moment and just walking, I felt very energized. And I started to really get in touch. I had hours every day by myself because the group usually headed out a bit ahead of me. But I started to really find out that my wholeheartedness was really the antidote to my fatigue. And what I like to do, because I journal a lot when I'm on these hikes, is come back and see how what I learned on the yoga mat or what I learned on the hike translates into information I was gifted to use every day of my life as a metaphor. And I'm really walking with that right now. It's so easy at this time of the year to get out ahead and to postpone happiness and delay gratification and all of that stuff. And instead just to be here now and to realize if you boil it down to all the things you have to do, it's pretty simple, like just keep walking and enjoy the view from where you're at and manage your own energy, manage your own stress by staying in the present moment. Anything you're going through right now, folks, if I can give you one gift from our beautiful hike of Kilimanjaro, is it's all just walking, and walking with people you love is amazing. It's far better than walking alone. So it's just walking, and make sure if you're planning some big, beautiful hikes to take some people you love with you.